Hey Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, of course, we're going to go over that sideways action on the Bitcoin chart. Guys, not much has been going on this last week. Basically, Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum have just been going sideways, maybe a little bit of a retracement. And of course, that's what I suggested that you should expect as we're doing these retests of these breakouts. And, the fact is we are holding our levels quite well. And as you can see on Bitcoin, we have developed this kind of spider line, this kind of through line, which we are turning into support after breaking out of that falling wedge. We are kind of in this bearish harmonic, but we have already tagged the first kind of take profit area where we would suggest that we might pull back. And while, of course, it is possible that we always have a deeper retracement, maybe even to the bottom of our channel here, right? Top, bottom, top, bottom, right? Top. Yes, of course, we could come back to the bottom of that channel. But as long as we're pushing up against resistance, as long as we have these developing kind of spider lines here that we are pushing up against, threatening to break out of, that's the direction our bias is going to be in. As long as we can hold up against them, the more pressure that we put up against them, the more likely it is that we break out. And you can see that our weekly volatility pivot is actually 67,100. Now, are we going to close above, pardon me, not 61,000, 67,000, but $68,070? Are we going to be able to close above $68,000, by the end of the day today and capture that weekly volatility pivot to give us that strong bias to the upside? Well, maybe not. We also have the 2-week volatility pivot up here around $69,000, 69,935. And then our daily volatility pivot is also there at 69,000. So what am I trying to say with these pivots? Okay, I'm not trying to make it too complicated. I'm just saying that if you want a strong bias to the upside, we got to get above that weekly volatility pivot. We got to get above that daily volatility pivot. We got to get above that 2-week volatility pivot. Otherwise, our bias, right, just on a momentum basis, is going to be down as we're trending down on this little bit of a pullback. However, guys, like I mentioned in the last couple videos, we do have this big alpha energy, which is rising as we go along, obviously, which represents the strength of the move. And as long as we can hold now approximately 66,250, that's going to hold this kind of zone here. That's going to hold this spider line, this through line, which is giving us a little bit of support. And that's going to suggest that this could be what pumps us over these volatility pivots and perhaps even takes us above the bull zone, above 71,255, which then, of course, we might have some higher targets. For example, maybe 77,000, 75,000, whatnot, as we take out our previous all-time high. We do have a fifth leg of our Elliott wave series here, which we don't know where it's going to end, right? So you can see we had a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're working on that fifth impulse. Of course, everyone is speculating, is it going to be closer to that 120 area? Is it going to be in the 90,000s? Or is it going to be a pathetic measure in the upper 70s, maybe low 80s? Of course, everyone has their opinion. We're just going to play it by ear. And of course, as long as we're holding this through line, and if we can capture some of those volatility pivots, then I am going to swing my bias from a pullback into a potential, looking forward to the next part of the bull run. Otherwise, we lose that big alpha energy at 66,250-ish, then maybe we can start looking towards that bear zone, which of course we don't have to get stuck under. We could just bounce off of it and try again. It'll just take longer. That's all. Guys, that's going to be your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.